The single biggest threat to the American way of life is not some far-flung military or religious dictatorship. It's not Nazism or communism or any foreign ism. It's a homegrown ism called feminism. No single force has done more to wreck the American family, workplace, and the core of our nation and what made it strong and great than feminism. A pernicious, sick, perverted, and hedonistic ideology that says that women should never be held accountable for their actions, and their highest sacrament is slaughtering their own children. It is antithetical to Christianity. It is corrosive in the extreme to a high-functioning society. It sits against every core tenet of the foundation constitutionally of America and our Bill of Rights. And it is an inversion of God's design. This is why women shrieked like demons across the nation when the Supreme Court just ever so lightly said that your right to slaughter your unborn children in their most innocent state and judge every single society by how it treats the most helpless and vulnerable, you should do that. It's the way Christ treated the world. Women, feminists in particular, demand the right to kill the most innocent among us. And since those babies were in the womb, prior generations relented and relinquished what we all know morally to be true, which is that that is murder. But it wasn't long until their true intentions were revealed, which is that post-birth abortion would be the ultimate design here. That a woman have a right to sacrifice their children by design. And that child sacrifice needs to be brought back to the table. And that was brought to the political table in 2019, when Virginia Governor Ralph Northam suggested that babies in Virginia should be killed after birth if the mother wants it to happen. The infant would be delivered, the infant would be kept comfortable, and a discussion would ensue with the physician and the mother about whether we slaughter the child that's been born. That's more than 0 hours old.
Because these decisions shouldn't be taken lightly. And so, the infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So,
to see whether we kill the kid as it's sitting there in the cradle. There's nothing more evil or demonic, sinister, or antithetical to human nature, which of course says to protect the most vulnerable and your own children. But something's gone horribly wrong with women, and I'm not the one who's here to functionally diagnose all of it. It would take us the next 20 hours. But I do want to state a couple of hard facts about what's happening in the Lindsay Clancy case, because it proves that this is precisely what the left has always wanted: child sacrifice. Not just with abortion, but with living children. Because what happened with Lindsay Clancy, and if you're not following this case, a very quick rewind of what's happening in Massachusetts. Lindsay Clancy is a mother of 3 children, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and an 8-month-old. In fact, they're very close in age to my children. These are ages where children are the most vulnerable, and where they see their mother and father as their whole world. If you're not a parent, I'm not sure you can properly understand that at these ages, all your children have are you. You're all they know. When they seek comfort in the world, when they seek safety and security, I just got home from a trip, and my son runs into my arms. He's 18 months old. This is the most fragile moments, and you are their rock. You are their mountain at this age. This witch, this demon witch, Lindsay Clancy, because she was having psychological trouble or whatever, who knows? I don't even care. I mean, to be quite honest with you, because her actions reveal somebody who systematically planned the murder of her children, which is what she did. So I just could care less what's going on. There is no excuse for her slaughtering her children, which is what she did. She went and told her husband that she wanted him to go pick up dinner and something at CVS, some medication, so that he would leave the house. She plotted how long it would take him to do this. She lured all of her children into the basement. She took an exercise band and she strangled each one of them. It took approximately 4 minutes per. Her 3-year-old got scared and went running away from her. She hunted him down and killed all of her children systematically with an exercise band, slit her own wrists and neck, and threw herself out of a window, paralyzing herself. Call it whatever you want. I think I will prefer to call this demonic possession more than anything. I'm not trying to excuse it or blame anyone, but this is what I view it as. The fact that she's doing this when her children at these ages cannot fight back and see her as their sole source of comfort. They don't know the rest of the world. They don't know anything. They know the world is big and scary and that mommy and daddy are safety and security. And she manipulated that and killed them. It's an act of darkness unlike anything I've ever seen. I don't even want to think about it, and I wouldn't want to think about it or even consider it, except for all of the feminists that are now gathering by her side. Psychotic SSRI, totally unhinged wine mothers showed up. The true crime pod moms, I guess. I don't really know how to really describe them other than these are the same women that think that Tyler Robinson, there's just something off with him and they can figure that out. They can crack that case. These are the same women that say that Carmelo Anthony needs to be set free. There's a 100% overlap between these women and the actual justice system and evidence and a clear-eyed, righteous distribution of justice. And they've gathered and raised over $1 million for Lindsay Clancy. This is Lindsay Clancy's GoFundMe. And you can see here that they've raised $1 million now. And the money's pouring in. And women are standing for this mass murder of her own children. Again, it's one thing to murder somebody who's an adult. It's one thing to have a fit of passion. It's one thing to have some type of breakdown or rash corruption of your personality. So these women are all chanting, she was sick, she had postpartum psychosis, the system failed her. But what it really is about is giving women the right to get away with literal murder. This would accomplish the final end goal, the stated goal of feminism, the stated goal of this hedonistic, most destructive movement in America is to liberate a woman from her actions entirely. And if Lindsay Clancy can get away with murdering her 3 children, then they can materialize and realize the full feminist dream, which is that they will never bear or have responsibility for any of their actions because we've been able to get one of ours off for the single most heinous crime any human being can imagine. Absolute moral collapse, the worst thing I've seen in my lifetime. 100% overlap between these demons and the people who celebrated Charlie's murder and they want Carmelo Anthony and Tyler Robinson free. We're fighting a spiritual battle. It's evil. They want to get away with literal murder. I cannot emphasize enough. And there's so much to be said about this, but I cannot emphasize enough as a parent that the functional, raw blackness, the satanic demon energy that must be required to do this to your own children, to do this to yourself, to do this to your own soul, when your children are at their most vulnerable, in trusting you and knowing you, and to take advantage of that, God help your soul. Something horrible is happening in America. I don't know how to diagnose it. These women have to be fired, ostracized from society, and have their children removed for their own safety. That's exactly right. Men, if you are dating some woman and she's getting brain rotted by TikToks about Lindsay Clancy on TikTok, you need to cut off that relationship immediately. There is no excusing the murder of children. There's no mental health care, or system that failed anybody here. It's just the darkness of the human soul. It's been child sacrifices in many, many cultures. The thing about evil is it can't create. It can't make new things. And so that's just where we're headed. And that's what this is really about. Men are breaking up with their girlfriends over this. Good. If your girl is a Lindsay Clancy defender, you do not want her as the mother of your children. This is not even a remotely controversial issue. This should be an issue that everyone unites on behalf of the dead children and the father who had his life destroyed by this evil witch. The father who got her a nanny, who got her the best care, health care in the world, who got her everything she could ever ask for. She checked herself into a psych ward. She was released. Doctors gave her a bill of health. And this, ultimately, the failure falls on the human soul and the evil that has always been there and always resided there. And that reminds us once again, as we watch President Trump get shot in the head, Charlie get shot in the neck, as we watch assassination attempt after assassination attempt, and the darkness of the human soul, whether it's a transgender shooter at children's schools, which is a similar attack, always going after the children, man. That's how you know. It's hard to really talk about as a parent myself, but I'll just say this. Are you on the side of righteousness, or are you on the side of darkness? Christ says it very plainly in the Gospels. Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come to give you life, and life more abundantly. There is a side, functionally the left, the hedonistic left, that is here to steal, kill, and destroy. Steal our elections, kill our children, our president, our future presidents, destroy our nation. Be on the side of life. And all of these feminists supporting Lindsay Clancy can go to hell. Worst thing I've seen in this country, maybe in my lifetime. Stand against it, disavow it. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.